Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and we have another installment in our Let's Learn Marvel series, this time detailing how to maximize your use of training mode. This actually comes from the video comments on my channel, and I realize, some people, they don't know all the options available to them or for certain things to look for, so we're just going to go over it. Now, I will be putting in timestamps on the video description here on YouTube, so if you do know some of these concepts, feel free to skip around the timestamps and, see what works for you. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to go over is my favorite thing I use the most, honestly, in training mode, which is dummy control. So if you're not aware, go into your controller settings, and at the bottom here where it says dummy control, please set that to a button. So I have that set to L2. I am using an arcade stick, just so you know. So it is set to L2, so we can move around just fine here. And as soon as I hold L2, now Iron Man is the guy who's moving. I let go. Agar, hold it, Iron Man. So this is useful for a lot of situations where, say, you just don't want to set a recording or really anything. Like in the hold button video I just recently published not long ago, showing things like going for a super and then, holding your buttons here. That was recorded with using dummy control. There's a lot of times where you just don't need to set up an elaborate recording. You just want to test something quick, like, I want to test a jump in. And, if your timing's quick enough, you do have to watch a bit on the negative edge, I can test my own anti-airs against myself. I don't need a setup. I don't need a dummy recording. You can use that for yourself. Now, one thing too, actually, as you just saw in the video here one moment ago, there is a bit of a negative edge issue here in dummy control. So if you hit a button and immediately let go. So actually, I'm going to separate the two characters here. So Iron Man, I'm going to jump Fierce Kick here, and then I'm going to immediately let go of dummy control. So right there, what happened is Tiger did a Fierce Kick instead. Now, let's try it one more time. So you see here, now both of them went and did it. So if you let go right away, you can sometimes get the negative edge that is releasing your button press count as an input for the other character. So you do have to watch out your timing sometimes. But that said, it is still incredibly useful. Like, say you want to test, how do you beat, say, a full screen super beam for Iron Man. You just hold the button, you do it, and then let go, and you immediately have control of your other character. Now, it's just, for me personally, it's super handy. I use it more than any other feature in training mode, because I don't like setting up elaborate dummy recordings, for the most part anyways. And it lets you just, check up stuff real quick. And anything your main character can do, so can the dummy control button. So if, say, we want to tag out, now we have Sigma. It's just the same. Anything you do, you can do super jumps. You can, if you want to, you can do your own personal combo from here. Like, of course I dropped it. That's how it tends to always go. But you can do full combos if you need to just quickly switch over. It's infinitely useful, and you can find near infinite uses for it. I'm gushing a little bit, I guess, but super handy to have, so I would suggest you use it. Now, next up to mention is record, playback, and various playbacks in memory. So, once again here, we're going to go to our controller settings. And for this, we want record and /switch Infinity Stone playback. So, I have taken off dummy control because I do need the other 6 buttons. I only have an 8-button arcade stick. But we have here now record set to L1 and playback set to L2. Now from here, where you want to go is skip our menus here to actions and move your actions to record. So, and just go back right quick. So right now we're on slot 1, and we'll go back to that in a moment. But now I hit L1 and it gives me control of Chun-Li here. You see the timer going up, that's on record. So say I just hit it again, we're going to stop. Now I'm going to hit my play function, and it's just going to do everything I did on record. So you hit it again and it stops. So what we want here is, say we have a very simple, starting a Chun-Li combo. And I'll let it just end there. So now when we hit playback, say this was a particular setup you had trouble defending yourself from, we can now learn, when can I defend myself? When can I push block? So, like, right there, we push block, and it kind of killed it dead on that if we late push block it. And I'm actually falling for mix-ups here, but you get the idea. So, from there, now, I did mention here we have multiple setups, so let's set one here. Now we're going to go to slot 2. Slot 2, we're going to hit record, and we're just going to do this here. Nothing too fancy. So once again, you hit play, it'll repeat what you put in. So now if we go back to slot 1 and set that here, and we hit play, it's what we had before. So you can store multiple setups in memory, and these are all saved per character. So if you have one saved for Chun-Li, save one for Captain America, these will stay in memory and they will be there for you when you come back to them. Now, say you're practicing against a high-low overhead mix-up, you know, a 50-50 coin flip, and you want to make it truly random, that's what this guy here is for. Random replay. So now, it's however many you have, so we only have 2 at the moment, but if you had 5, it would be all of 5. It'll go through all of them in random succession, and it'll just play them out as it stands. So here, right there, it started with the second one we recorded, and now it just went back to the first one, and now it's back to the second one, and it'll just randomly decide which one to pick from and keep going from there. So if you're trying to learn how to defend from certain mix-ups, this is a fantastic way to train it up and set it up for you to learn how to do it. Now, this one's a bit more of a heads up than anything else, I guess, but most of you, you know, the bulk of you, and me myself, a lot of people, you're in training mode to practice your combos, obviously, right? So this is a note to keep in mind who you're practicing your combo against, because it absolutely matters, especially when you're looking for stuff like damage. So what I'm going to do here is just practice a basic Hagar combo against Captain America. So we see here in this combo, it did 6,840 damage. So now we're going to do the exact same combo against Chun-Li and see what changes. Now you see here this combo now did 6,677 damage. Nothing changed in the combo at all, but what happened here is Chun-Li is in the lower health bracket versus Captain America being in the average health bracket. So Chun-Li, being a lower health character, hits the guts barrier earlier than Captain America would, thus the combo does less damage overall. And now on the flip, say you are a high health character like Hulk or Thanos, the combo and your damage actually do more damage than normal. So all things being equal, I would suggest, and that's just suggestion, you know, not a hard rule, try to practice your combos against average health characters just to keep everything, you know, level across the board. Now, this doesn't affect your combo in any way, shape, or form, so don't worry about that. But damage numbers will either be deflated on low health characters or inflated on high health characters. Now, this next up is the old man trick on how to determine frame data. It's super inaccurate, unfortunately, but, you know, it will give you a good indicator of what you're looking at as far as if a move is advantage on block or negative on block. This game, very unfortunately, doesn't have widespread numbers available like, say, a Street Fighter would for frame data. So we're going to have to figure this out ourselves. So how we're going to do this is go to your menu here, set your bot to guard all attacks. So no matter what, they're going to guard everything. And what you're going to do is do a move and then immediately pause. So after that, set your action to jumping, let go, and you hold up as well as the bot's going to jump. So right here, the bot jumped in the air before we did. So one more time just to show you. So we're going to set the jump, and we're going to jump at the same time. Since the bot jumped higher than we did, that means we are at negative on block. The bot has recovered faster than we did, thus can go higher in the air. So when doing this, generally you want to pick the same character, as, you know, just to remove any visual confusion. So let's try this with a different move. So we're going to use a divider slash here. We blocked. We're going to pause, hit jump, hold up. So there. And just one more time to show. We can tell now with this move, I'm at massive advantage because I'm already in the air before he even gets out of block stun. So you can basically do this with any given move. It's, you know, it's a bit of a, it's laborious, unfortunately, but it is generally a quick indicator. Whoever jumps in the air first is the person who has the advantage. so you can tell if a move is a negative or at advantage on block. The final thing I want to talk about is simply, make use of all the options you have available to you. So beginning with attack data and your inputs. So attack data inputs, they're super informational to have, just simply how much did this combo do? Is this move an overhead or is it an high? So some moves you might think are overheads might turn out just to be a high. Some moves you might think is a low could just turn out to be a high as well. So you have to watch out for those sorts of things, and just simply the inputs. Say you keep unfortunately dropping a combo. You can usually see, well, why did we drop a combo? Were you too fast, too slow? Or perhaps it lied in your execution, and with that, you can definitely tell with the inputs. You should be making use of all your options just to make sure if you're testing something it's correct, like having here, aerial recovery, for example, here. So I used to think I had some airtight Nemesis stuff, like no matter what, I got you dead to rights with air throw. And then, I play around with aerial recovery, and then it turns out maybe not so much. So you need to practice that out for sure, because you might find something you think is, awesome setup, fantastic, and then, they hit the real world of a match situation, and turns out it didn't quite work like you thought it did. And that said, also handy is just messing around with these gauges. Sometimes you don't need your super bar to refill. So if we turn to 0 here, often when I'm testing for combos, is I want to see if this combo can build enough meter for itself to end in a super. Some combos can, some combos can't, but you'll never know if you just leave it on auto recovery all the time so you're always at maximum bar. Those are the kind of things you just need to test with, tinker with, and just kind of figure out for yourself. But, the options are available for you, so please use them for your best discretion. So that concludes our video for today. I did not go over everything in exhaustive detail, no, but I did go over what I feel are some of the more important things you need to know, because if I did cover everything, honestly, this would be the longest video I've made to date. And, my videos, I'm well aware, some of them are longer than they should be to begin with. But I hope some of these tips really worked out for you, because, you need to maximize your use of your character. A lot of it's going to be in training mode. You need to find out what works, and what your options are. So like using dumbing control for one, like I said, it's my favorite by quite a bit. It takes a lot of the load off on just, having to record things or set things up, as you can just test stuff in like a one-off situation without having to go through a bunch of menus. And stuff like, checking out what character you're practicing your combos against, because that can absolutely affect your damage, and, many things more. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Marvel.